The Red Cross just dropped a rare winter alert, and it's not about blizzards. It's about being stranded at home with no power, no heat, and no hot meals for days. Stick around. I'm revealing the 15 essential items they're urging every U.S. household to stockpile before December, or face a very rough, weird winter of 2025. Hey everyone! I dug into the Red Cross's newly updated 2025 emergency checklist, cross-checked it with NOAA's weird winter forecast, and analyzed real-time retail data. And here's what's flying off shelves: canned chili, batteries, and yes, even powdered milk. And in this video, I'll show you the 15 must-have items the Red Cross says you need, including 3 unexpected ones most preppers miss, like why that $2 box of instant oatmeal could be your lifeline. Trust me, this isn't fear, it's smart, budget-friendly prep. While you watch, comment below. Have you seen empty shelves or sudden price hikes near you? Your tip could save someone else's winter. Item 1. NOAA weather radio. Imagine this. The power's out, your Wi-Fi's dead, your phone's blinking red at 3% battery. Outside, the wind's howling like it's got a grudge. You have no idea if a worse storm is coming or if help is on the way. That's where your NOAA weather radio steps in like a quiet hero. It doesn't need the internet, it doesn't need cell service. It pulls live official alerts straight from the National Weather Service, the same folks who track blizzards, ice storms, and flash freezes before they hit your town. And the best part? You don't even need wall power to run it. A good NOAA radio runs on batteries or even a hand crank. Just turn the little handle for 30 seconds and boom, you've got updates for hours. Many models also come with a built-in flashlight, handy during blackouts, and a USB port so you can top off your phone just enough to send a quick "I'm okay" text. Brands like Midland and Eaton make reliable ones that cost less than $35, cheaper than most takeout dinners. Think of it as your 24/7 emergency lifeline that never sleeps, never buffers, and never runs out of data. In a weird winter like 2025, where conditions can flip from slush to deep freeze in hours, knowing what's coming next isn't just helpful. It's essential, and honestly, once you have one on your shelf, you'll wonder how you ever waited so long to get it. Item 2, warm blankets. When the heat goes out in winter, it gets cold, fast, and not just grab a sweater cold. We're talking teeth chattering, can't feel your toes cold. That's why warm blankets aren't just cozy, they're critical. You've got a few great options here. Wool blankets are tough, warm, and they keep working even if they get a little damp. Fleece ones are soft, lightweight, and trap heat like a dream. Plus, most of us already have 1 or 2 tucked in a closet. But don't sleep on those shiny Mylar emergency blankets. Yeah, they look a little weird, like you're wrapping yourself in a baked potato or prepping for a sci-fi movie. But don't let the looks fool you. These thin, crinkly sheets reflect up to 90% of your body heat right back at you. In a power outage, that could be the difference between shivering all night and actually getting some rest. They're also super cheap, often under $2 each, weigh almost nothing, and pack down smaller than a soda can. Perfect for tossing in your car, bug-out bag, or emergency bin. And here's a pro move. Layer them. Throw a Mylar blanket under your regular comforter or sleeping bag, and it bounces your warmth back up instead of letting it leak into the mattress. You can even wrap one around your shoulders like a cape while you're cooking on a camp stove or waiting for the lights to come back on. The Red Cross recommends having at least 1 warm blanket per person, and honestly, it's one of the simplest, cheapest ways to stay safe when the temperature drops and the furnace won't kick on. Don't wait until the first freeze to think about this. Grab a few now, stash them where you can find them in the dark, and sleep easier knowing you're ready. Item 3, LED lanterns plus batteries. Let's talk light, because when the power goes out in the middle of a winter storm, it gets dark. Really dark, and while candles might seem romantic or nostalgic, they're actually one of the riskiest choices you can make. The Red Cross warns that candles cause thousands of home fires every winter, especially when people are tired, distracted, or using them near blankets, curtains, or kids. One tip over, one spark, and your safe space becomes dangerous fast. That's why LED lanterns are the smart, safe, and surprisingly affordable answer. For about $12, you can grab a reliable LED lantern from brands like Coleman or Goal Zero. These little lights flood a room with soft, steady brightness. No open flame, no smoke, no worry. Many even have multiple settings, bright for cooking or reading, dim for overnight use, and some even double as phone chargers. And don't forget the batteries. Toss in a few extra packs of AAs or rechargeables, because nothing's worse than your light dying at 2 a.m. during a snowstorm. While you're at it, grab a couple of $1 headlamps from the camping aisle. They're hands-free, lightweight, and perfect for fixing a fuse box, checking on pets, or walking to the bathroom without tripping. Keep one in your nightstand, one in your emergency bin, and maybe one in the car, just in case. LED lights last way longer than old school bulbs, use way less power, and won't burn your house down while you're trying to stay warm. In a weird winter like 2025, where outages could last days, having reliable light isn't a luxury. It's peace of mind you can switch on with the flick of a button. Item 4. First aid kit. A first aid kit might not seem exciting until you need it. And in a winter emergency, even a small cut, burn, or headache can feel like a big problem when you're stuck at home with no power, no pharmacy, and icy roads blocking help. That's why the Red Cross strongly recommends every household keep a well-stocked first aid kit and not just the tiny one from your car's glove box. You can buy a Red Cross approved kit. They're sold at Walmart, Target, and online, or build your own in a sturdy plastic bin. Either way, make sure it's got the basics: bandages in different sizes, gauze pads, medical tape, antiseptic wipes, tweezers, and scissors. Don't forget pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen. Fever or toothaches don't take winter off. If you or someone in your home takes daily medication, set aside a small supply just for emergencies. Keep it in a labeled, sealed bag inside the kit so it doesn't get lost or mixed up. Now, here's something most people overlook. Add a few packets of disposable hand warmers. They cost less than $1 each, last for hours, and can be total lifesavers. Imagine you're outside in freezing temps, checking your generator or shoveling snow, and your fingers go numb. Pop a hand warmer in your glove, and within minutes, you've got feeling and safety back. You can even tuck them into socks or pockets to warm up fast during a long outage. Other smart additions: lip balm, cold air cracks lips fast; moisturizer, dry heat or no heat dries out skin; and maybe a small tube of antibiotic ointment. Keep your kit in an easy-to-reach spot, like a kitchen cabinet or hallway closet, not buried in the garage. And check it every few months to replace expired meds or used supplies. In a weird winter like 2025, where help might be hours or days away, your first aid kit isn't just about cuts and scrapes. It's about staying calm, safe, and in control when everything else feels uncertain. Item 3. Portable power bank. Your phone is more than just a phone during a winter emergency. It's your flashlight, your weather radio, your lifeline to family, and sometimes your only way to call for help. But when the power's out for days, that battery won't last long. That's where a good portable power bank becomes essential, and not just any power bank. Look for one that's solar rechargeable or has a hand crank option. Why? Because if the grid is down for a week, you won't have an outlet to plug into. A solar model lets you top off your battery just by setting it in a sunny window. Even weak winter sun helps. Brands like Anchor, Jackery, and BioLite make reliable ones that won't break the bank, many under $50. Aim for at least 20,000 milliamp hours capacity. That's enough to charge a smartphone 4 to 6 times. Some even come with built-in LED lights or USB ports for charging tablets or small devices. Keep it charged before storm season hits and store it with your emergency supplies so you're not scrambling in the dark. And don't forget the cables. Toss in a short USB-C and lightning cord, maybe even wrap them with a rubber band so they don't vanish into the junk drawer. A power bank won't run your fridge or heater, but it will keep you connected, informed, and calm when everything else feels out of control. In a weird winter like 2025, where communication could mean the difference between waiting safely and wandering into danger, this little brick of battery might be the most important tech you own. Just think, one full charge could let you text a neighbor for help, check a weather update, or show your kids a cartoon to distract them from the howling wind outside. That's not just convenience, that's care. Item 6. Water supply. Water seems simple until you don't have it. When a winter storm knocks out power, your pipes can freeze, burst, or lose pressure. Even if they don't, your town might issue a boil water notice if the system gets contaminated. That's why the Red Cross says every household needs at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking and basic hygiene, and enough to last at least 3 days, though 7 is smarter for 2025's weird winter. That means a family of 4 should have 12 to 28 gallons stored. Don't panic. This doesn't mean buying expensive bottled water by the pallet. You can use clean, empty soda or juice bottles. Just wash them well, fill them with tap water, and add 2 drops of unscented household bleach per gallon to keep it safe. Store them in a cool, dark place like a basement or closet, away from gasoline or chemicals that could leak fumes. Rotate your stash every 6 months so it stays fresh. And remember, in freezing temps, water stored in an unheated garage or shed can turn to ice, which not only makes it unusable, but can crack containers. Keep your emergency water inside your home where it stays liquid. You might not think about water until the faucet sputters dry, but in a real emergency, clean water is more valuable than snacks, candles, or even extra blankets. It's the foundation of survival. Your body can go weeks without food, but only days without water. So before you stockpile the 10th can of soup, make sure you've got enough water to actually stay hydrated, cook meals, and keep basic hygiene intact. It's quiet, it's simple, and it's absolutely non-negotiable. Item 7, water purifier. Having stored water is step 1, but what if you run out? Or what if your tap water becomes unsafe after a storm? That's where a water purifier steps in as your backup plan. You can't just drink snow, lake water, or even melted ice straight from your roof. It might look clean, but it can carry bacteria, chemicals, or hidden contaminants that'll make you sick, especially when you're already stressed and cold. The Red Cross recommends keeping a reliable way to purify water on hand, and you've got a few smart, simple options. Water purification tablets are tiny, lightweight, and cheap. Just drop one into a liter of questionable water, wait 30 minutes, and it's safe to drink. Brands like Potable Aqua or Aqua Tabs work fast and last for years in your emergency bin. If you prefer something reusable, a compact filter like the Life Straw or Sawyer Mini lets you sip directly from a stream, puddle, or even a rain barrel. Yes, really. These filters remove 99.9% of bacteria and parasites, no chemicals needed. Some even screw onto standard water bottles for easy use. Keep your purifier in the same spot as your water stash so you don't waste time hunting for it in an emergency. And if you're using snow, always melt it first and then purify it because raw snow actually lowers your core body temperature and can cause dehydration. In a prolonged outage during the weird winter of 2025, knowing you can safely make any water drinkable gives you serious peace of mind. It's not glamorous, but it's one of the quietest, most powerful tools in your prep kit. And at under $20 for most options, it's a small price for something that could literally keep you alive. Item 8. Ready-to-eat canned meals. When the power's out and it's freezing outside, the last thing you want to do is start a fire just to heat a meal. That's why ready-to-eat canned meals are a total game changer, and yes, the Red Cross actually lists them as a top recommendation. Think chili, beef stew, ravioli, chicken noodle soup, or even SpaghettiOs. These aren't just pantry staples. They're full meals that need zero cooking. Just pop the lid. Don't forget that manual can opener. Grab a spoon and you're fed. They're packed with protein, calories, and warmth in a can comfort that hits different during a blackout. And let's be real, there's something deeply nostalgic about eating Chef Boyardee or Campbell's from the can. It's not fancy, but in a crisis, it feels like a hug from your childhood. Plus, these cans last for years if stored properly, so you can stock up slowly without waste. Look for low-sodium options if you're watching your health, but don't stress too much. This is emergency food, not your everyday diet. Keep a mix of meats, veggies, and soups so you've got variety. When day 4 of no power starts to feel endless. And pro tip, choose cans with pull tab lids whenever possible. If you misplace your can opener, it happens. You're not stuck staring at a can of beans like it's a locked treasure chest. Store them in a cool, dry place like a basement shelf or kitchen cabinet, and rotate them every year or so by eating the oldest ones and replacing them on your next grocery run. In the weird winter of 2025, where outages could stretch longer than expected, having a few hearty meals that require zero effort could keep your energy up, your mood stable, and your family calm. Because when it's dark and cold, a warm can of stew isn't just dinner, it's hope you can taste. Item 9. Peanut butter and honey don't laugh. Peanut butter and honey might be two of the most underrated survival foods in your entire pantry. They're cheap, shelf-stable, packed with energy, and require zero prep. No cooking, no water, no electricity, just twist the lid and eat. Peanut butter is loaded with protein, healthy fats, and calories, exactly what your body needs to stay warm and strong when it's freezing outside. A single spoonful can keep you full for hours, which matters when meals are limited. And honey, it's pure natural sugar that gives you a fast energy boost. Plus, it never spoils. Archaeologists have found edible honey in ancient Egyptian tombs. Both keep for years in a cool, dry place. Just stir the oil back in if your peanut butter separates. They're also incredibly versatile. Spread peanut butter on crackers, mix honey into oatmeal, or eat them straight from the jar when you're too tired to cook. Kids love them, adults crave them, and in a stressful situation, that familiar taste can be oddly calming. Bonus, they're quiet to eat, no crinkly wrappers or noisy cans, so if you're trying to rest while others sleep, you won't wake the house. And unlike granola bars or protein shakes, they don't turn into weird goo or powder over time. Just make sure you're buying the simple versions, peanut butter with just peanuts and maybe salt, and pure honey, not honey-flavored syrup. In a weird winter like 2025, where comfort and calories both matter, these two humble jars are like having a warm, familiar friend in your emergency stash. They won't solve everything, but they'll keep you fueled, satisfied, and strangely happy, even when the lights are out and the wind is howling. Item 10. Instant oatmeal plus powdered milk. There's something deeply comforting about a warm bowl of oatmeal on a freezing morning, especially when the world outside feels chaotic. And during a winter power outage, that comfort becomes more than just a nice feeling. It becomes fuel for your body and peace for your mind. Instant oatmeal packets are perfect for emergencies because they're lightweight, cheap, and ready in minutes. All you need is hot water, which you can get from a camping stove, a kettle on a wood burner, or even carefully heated over a safe flame. But here's the secret upgrade. Add powdered milk. It's shelf stable for up to 2 years, takes up almost no space, and turns plain oatmeal into something creamy and satisfying. Powdered milk also gives you calcium, protein, and extra calories, critical when you're cold and your body is working harder just to stay warm. Keep a few boxes of plain or maple-flavored instant oatmeal. Avoid the super sugary kinds. They spike your energy, then crash it. And a small can of powdered milk in your emergency bin. You can even mix them dry in a Ziploc bag for a custom just add hot water meal. And don't sleep on powdered milk's other uses. Reconstitute it for hot cocoa, coffee, or even to cook mashed potatoes if you've got canned ones. It's quiet, unassuming, and often forgotten, but in a prolonged outage, that warm, milky bowl of oats might be the thing that keeps your spirits up on day 3 of no power. Plus, it's a hit with kids, grandparents, and picky eaters alike. In the weird winter of 2025, where morale is just as important as calories, this simple combo proves that sometimes the smallest comforts make the biggest difference. Item 11. Jerky or protein bars. When you're cold, stressed, and stuck indoors for days, your body burns more energy just trying to stay warm. That means you need real fuel, not just snacks, but dense, lasting nutrition. That's where beef jerky and smart protein bars come in. Jerky is a classic for a reason. It's lightweight, packed with protein, needs no refrigeration, and lasts for months, sometimes years, in its original packaging. A single ounce can keep hunger at bay for hours without weighing you down. Look for brands with minimal sugar and recognizable ingredients. Skip the ones that taste like candy or have a mile-long chemical list. If you're vegetarian, turkey, salmon, or even mushroom jerky are great alternatives. Pair it with a few high-quality protein bars, but choose wisely. Many energy bars are just glorified candy, loaded with sugar and fake fillers. Go for ones with under 5 grams of sugar, at least 10 grams of protein, and real ingredients like nuts, oats, or seeds. Think RXBARKIND protein, or even store brand options from Costco or Sam's Club, which are often half the price. Buy in bulk when they're on sale, split the cost with a neighbor, and stash them in your emergency bin. These aren't meant to be your only food, but they're perfect for quick energy during generator checks, snow shoveling, or those 3 a.m. moments when you're too tired to heat a full meal. They're also silent, mess-free, and require zero prep, ideal when you're conserving fuel or water. In the weird winter of 2025, where every calorie counts and convenience is priceless, Jerky and Smart Protein bars are like having a pocket-sized lifeline that fits in your coat, your glove box, or your nightstand drawer. No cooking, no cleanup, just pure, simple fuel to keep you going when the going gets tough. Item 12. Comfort carbs. Let's be honest, when the power's out, the wind's howling, and you're wrapped in a Mylar blanket like a baked potato, what you really crave isn't just calories, it's comfort. That's why the Red Cross quietly acknowledges something many preppers ignore. Morale matters, and nothing lifts spirits faster than familiar, simple carbs that taste like normal life. Think ramen noodles, boxed mac and cheese, saltine crackers, or even plain rice cakes. These aren't fancy survival foods, but they're cheap, shelf-stable, and deeply satisfying when everything else feels uncertain. A steaming cup of ramen made with hot water from your camp stove can feel like a luxury on day 2 of an outage. A bowl of mac and cheese, yes, the kind with the powdered cheese packet, can bring a kid or an adult to tears for all the right reasons. Crackers pair perfectly with peanut butter or canned tuna, stretching your meals further without adding weight or cost. And unlike freeze-dried emergency meals that cost $10 a pouch, these comfort carbs cost pennies per serving and are already sitting in most American pantries. Stock up on the classics you actually enjoy, not just what should work. If you grew up on chicken-flavored ramen or that specific brand of oyster crackers Grandma kept in a tin, grab those. Emotional familiarity reduces stress, and in a crisis, lower stress means clearer thinking and better decisions. Store them in sealed bins to keep out moisture and pests, and rotate them every 6 to 12 months by eating the oldest boxes first. In the weird winter of 2025, where isolation and uncertainty could stretch for days, these humble carbs do more than fill your stomach. They remind you that warmth, the normalcy, and even joy can still exist, one salty noodle at a time. Item 13, hot drinks. When you're cold, tired, and stuck inside during a winter blackout, few things feel as healing as wrapping your hands around a warm mug of something comforting. That's why hot drinks aren't just a luxury. They're a legit part of your emergency kit. Instant coffee, tea bags, hot cocoa packets, or even powdered cider can do wonders for your mood, your focus, and your sense of normalcy. The Red Cross may not list hot chocolate as a critical supply, but they do emphasize mental well-being, and sometimes a steaming cup is exactly what keeps you calm enough to think clearly. These drinks are lightweight, cheap, and last for years if kept dry. A box of cocoa or a jar of instant coffee costs less than $5, but can deliver dozens of morale-boosting moments. All you need is hot water, which you can heat on a camping stove, over a safe flame, or even with a portable heater used outdoors. Bonus, caffeine from coffee or tea helps you stay alert during overnight generator checks or storm watches, while cocoa's warmth can soothe frayed nerves before bed. Keep a small stash in your emergency bin, maybe even pre-portion them into Ziploc bags with a mini marshmallow or sugar packet for extra joy. And don't forget the little things. A lightweight, unbreakable mug, like titanium or sturdy plastic, makes the experience feel real, not makeshift. In the weird winter of 2025, where days might blur together in the dim light of lanterns, that ritual, boiling water, stirring in powder, sipping slowly, can anchor you to hope. It's not about the drink itself, it's about the quiet reminder that even in chaos, you can still create a moment of warmth, care, and humanity. And sometimes, that's enough to get you through the night. Item 14, manual can opener. It sounds almost too simple to matter. But in a real emergency, a manual can opener can be the difference between a hot meal and an empty stomach. Think about it. Your power's out. It's freezing. You've got a pantry full of canned chili, soup, beans, and stew, nutritious, ready-to-eat food that could keep you going for days. But if your only can opener is electric, and let's be honest, many of us rely on those quiet, push-button ones built into our kitchen walls, you're stuck. You can't open a single can. No amount of strength, knives, or YouTube hacks will safely get you into that metal cylinder without the right tool. That's why the Red Cross lists a manual can opener as a non-negotiable part of every emergency kit. It's small, cheap, often under $5, and lasts forever. You don't need batteries, you don't need instructions. Just clamp it on, turn the handle, and snick, dinner is served. Keep one in your emergency bin, yes, but also consider taping a second one to the inside of your pantry door or storing it in a kitchen drawer you can find in the dark. Because in a blackout, fumbling for tools adds stress you don't need. And don't assume you'll just buy one later. During the major winter storms, stores sell out of basics fast. Batteries, water, bread, and yes, even can openers. Get yours now while shelves are full. Bonus tip. Choose a model with a comfortable grip and a strong gear mechanism. The old school side crank kind, like the classic swing away, works smoothly even with cold or gloved hands. Some even come with bottle openers or built-in knife sharpeners, small extras that add up when resources are limited. In the weird winter of 2025, where supply chains could be strained and outages longer than expected, this tiny piece of metal becomes a quiet hero. It turns stored food into real nourishment. It keeps your family fed without fire or electricity, and it costs less than a latte. So before you stockpile that 10th can of ravioli, make sure you've got the one thing that actually lets you eat it. Because in an emergency, the simplest tools often carry the heaviest weight, and this one opens more than just cans. It opens the door to calm, control, and care when everything else feels out of reach. Item 15, multi-fuel stove. When the power's out for more than a day, cold meals get old fast. That's where a reliable multi-fuel camping stove becomes your secret weapon for surviving the weird winter of 2025. Unlike electric kettles or microwaves, a stove like the Coleman dual fuel doesn't need an outlet. It runs on regular unleaded gasoline or white gas, also called Coleman fuel, which means you're not dependent on one hard-to-find fuel type when shelves are empty. Gasoline might already be in your car's tank, use it sparingly and safely, and white gas stores cleanly for years in a metal can. With just a few minutes and a match, you can boil water for coffee, heat canned soup, cook oatmeal, or even melt snow for drinking. This isn't about gourmet cooking, it's about restoring warmth, routine, and dignity when everything else feels chaotic. A hot meal lifts spirits, a warm drink steadies nerves, and being able to feed your family hot food during a blackout, that's priceless. The Coleman model is a favorite among preppers and the Red Cross alike because it's durable, simple to use, and widely available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, or online for under $60. Keep it in a dry, ventilated space like your garage or shed, never indoors, due to carbon monoxide risk, and store a small, approved fuel can nearby. Check local fire codes. Practice using it once before winter hits so you're not figuring it out in the dark during a storm. And always use it outside or in a well-ventilated area. Safety first, always. In prolonged outages, this stove can also sterilize water, warm baby bottles, or even help dry damp socks over a safe distance. It's compact, lightweight, and punches far above its weight in utility. While fancy solar ovens or propane grills have their place, they often fail in freezing temps or run out of fuel fast. A multi-fuel stove? It keeps working when you need it most. In the unpredictable winter ahead, where ice storms could knock out power for a week or more, this humble stove isn't just gear, it's your lifeline back to comfort, control, and the simple human act of sharing a hot meal, even when the world outside has gone quiet and cold. Pro tip: build your kit one grocery trip at a time. You don't need to buy everything in one go or spend hundreds of dollars overnight. In fact, the smartest preppers stockpile slowly, quietly, and budget smart. Here's how. Every time you go to the store, add just 1 or 2 emergency items to your cart. This week, grab a hand crank radio and a box of oatmeal. Next week, pick up a manual can opener and a few cans of chili. The week after, toss in a Mylar blanket and a pack of AA batteries. Not only does this spread out the cost, making prep totally doable on a tight budget, but it also prevents you from feeling overwhelmed. Plus, you're less likely to impulse buy overpriced emergency kits full of junk you don't need. Stick to real food, real tools, and trusted brands you already know, like Coleman, Midland, or even store brand peanut butter. And rotate as you go. Eat the oldest canned goods first, replace expired meds during your next pharmacy run, and test your gear, like that lantern or stove once a season so you know it works. This slow stockpile method builds real readiness without stress, debt, or panic. In the weird winter of 2025, the most prepared households won't be the ones with the fanciest gear. They'll be the ones who started early, stayed consistent, and kept it simple. So start small, stay steady, and remember, readiness isn't a race, it's a habit. We've covered a lot, from weather radios that talk when the internet goes silent, to warm blankets that hold your body heat like a promise, to humble jars of peanut butter that taste like safety. These 15 items aren't about fear. They're not about bunkers, barbed wire, or doomsday scenarios. They're about something far more human: dignity in difficulty. The Red Cross isn't asking you to become a survivalist. They're simply reminding us that in a weird winter like 2025, where Arctic blasts, ice storms, and grid strain could leave millions without power for days, being prepared means staying warm, fed, hydrated, and calm when the world outside turns unpredictable. And the best part? Almost everything on this list is affordable, familiar, and already within reach. You don't need special training, you don't need a second mortgage, you just need to start. Maybe today you check your pantry for a manual can opener. Maybe this weekend you grab a $12 LED lantern and a few extra batteries. Maybe you finally buy that second can of powdered milk, just in case. These small acts add up to real resilience. And they send a quiet message to yourself and your family: we've got this. Because preparation isn't about expecting the worst, it's about giving yourself the best chance to handle whatever comes. As someone who's been prepping since 2014 and lived through the deep freeze of 2019, I can tell you this: the peace of mind you gain from knowing you're ready is worth more than any item on this list. So don't wait for the first snowstorm to hit. Don't wait for empty shelves or price hikes to wake you up. Start now, slowly, smartly, and without panic. Stock one thing, then another. Build your kit like you're building a safety net, stitch by stitch. And remember, in the darkest, coldest moment of a winter outage, it won't be the fanciest gear that saves you. It'll be the simple, thoughtful choices you made before the storm arrived. You've got the list. You've got the why. Now go take that first small step, because readiness isn't a destination, it's something you carry with you. One can, one blanket, one warm cup of cocoa at a time. If this video helped you feel more ready and less worried, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button. It takes 2 seconds, but it tells YouTube this kind of practical, no panic prep matters, and helps more people like you find it before winter hits. Drop a comment below. I read every single one. Tell me, what's the first item from this list you're grabbing this week? Or better yet, have you already noticed shortages, weird price hikes, or empty shelves in your area? Your real-time update could give someone else the heads up they need to act fast. And if you're serious about staying prepared without the hype, hit subscribe and tap the bell. We're not here for fear-mongering, we're here for smart, budget-friendly, real-life readiness, especially as we head into the weirdest winter in years. Stay warm, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next one.